Do you guys think that there's like like you're only allowed so much happiness in one life? That's kind of a theory that's been for some reason on my mind, that we're only allowed a certain amount of happiness. Think of it kind of like Hinduism, um how it's like, oh, your next life is dependent on the life you lived prior, like as soon as you're born, you are destined to have this many fun games, this many movies, this percentage of your life is going to be a good one, and then the rest of it's going to be, a bad one, something like that. I don't know why. I really don't know why. I think it has to do with just how, you know it, life can just, like I guess I'm just not prepared for the worst days. It's just, kind of just decks you in the face sometimes. And it was like, I'm always like, what did I do to deserve this? What I did everything right. I went to bed on time. I ate right, and for some reason I still got punched in the face. And I actually did get punched in the face one time, um, like for doing nothing. It was actually the story in high school. So I was just sitting down, I was just doing homework, I was minding my own business, and then wham, I just got punched in the face by someone. He got suspended, I got a black eye. I was actually trying to like skip school, but my parents were like, no, if you skip school, you'll be seen as a wuss. So I went to school the next day, and everyone's like, oh, what happened to your eye? And I had to explain to them. Oh man, not a fun time. Anyways, life feels like that. Life feels like I did nothing wrong, and I'm just getting punished for, just I don't know why. I'm trying to think. You know, I think I have a real big problem with ego. I think ego is one of my main. Is it like a delusion, or is it something else? Like it just it feels as if I am like something was taken away, or something like that. I just got like, I huh like, I was promised candy, and then I wasn't given candy or something like that. Like there was a contract. There was something I did on my part, and then it just wasn't reciprocated. I don't know what it is. I'm really trying to figure it out. And it's like it's weird because I don't think I'm better than people. I don't think that at all. So because there's a lot of people out there that they're better, they're more qualified than me. They've donated more to charity, all those things, but maybe they don't get paid as much as me, or they're working worse jobs than me. They get less respect in the house. They get abused at home. So there's definitely I definitely see that. I see my faults there. But it's like, I don't know, it just feels like at the same time it feels like this isn't my life. This isn't what it was supposed to be. This wasn't my vision. I feel uncomfortable. I feel kind of naked, vulnerable, something like that. Like this isn't the room I wanted. This isn't the bed. This isn't the job. This isn't like none of that. And I understand I can't necessarily control all that, but it's like my mind is like trying to force me to do it, to like change it or something like that. I talk about mental health a lot because it's something I've realized I needed for a very long time. I needed mental health years, decades ago. I needed to see the world from a different perspective. I didn't understand. With education, my life changed a lot. With education, I feel like the more you learn, just the better life becomes. I think learning is awesome, fantastic. But it seems like no matter how much mental health you learn, there's always going to be um, disabilities in your life. And I think one of them is just I just have this perspective of the world, and I'm living in something completely different. It's strange. It's strange. Like my day to day just hurts sometimes. It's not a it's just it feels like something's not right. Something isn't right. What is it? What is it that's not right? What can I try to change? It Life feels empty sometimes. It feels hopeless. It feels I don't it feels it's like, oh man, I'm always like, it's just like I'm not having fun right now. This isn't like a fine experience to be having. It's very it's very diluted. It feels to everyone that's currently experience like I've been seeing like more like typhoons and floods, people's houses breaking. That's how it feels up here a lot of the time. It feels like I'm not drowning, but it's like there's 3 feet of water and my house is broken and I can't do anything about it. Um Also kind of feels like, because like my house caught on fire once, and I couldn't live in that house, and I had to live with my grandma. That also felt like something's not right here. It feels like life was supposed to be different at some point. It feels like I entered in a different universe. But it's like at the same time, whenever that flips around, whenever I'm doing awesome in life, whenever great things happen to me, I'm always like, I am the luckiest man in the world. What could I have done to deserve something better than this? It's one of those weird things in life. I'm always so conflicted and torn, and sometimes the simplest answer is the correct answer. I think the simplest answer right now is just haven't been spending enough time breathing, haven't spent enough time meditating, haven't spent enough time maybe like reading up on meditation, stuff like that. And maybe I should spend this time right now to kind of do that, to kind of get into that zone, something like that. Um, that could be what it is. And I really do think life is just more, it's a lot simpler than we make it out to be. Um, in some ways, in some aspects, in other aspects, it's the most complicated life we live in. But then there's other moments where it's like there are simple answers. We do have to start looking for them. We have to kind of just get into that routine. Something I think I'm trying to do right now is just start living my life in a simpler routine, something I can manage, trying to find things that I can manage. And one of the hard things, it's kind of like my job right now. I can't make my job simpler. That's always going to be complicated unless I decide to quit and do something else. But due to the money, due to my financial situation, I'm inclined to stay. So that's something I can't change. I can't make that job simpler. It's going to be as complex as the job needs. But I can try to make life simpler in my own life. Something, and I'm probably going to talk about this in the future, but just, simpler means also just not spending time with other people as much, kind of just staying in my own headspace. But is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Is that complexity a good complexity? It depends on person to person. I'm someone who's introverted, so I like being by myself more, but I do see the value of being with other people, and it can bring some of the best times in your life when you're doing it with others. So it's something I'm currently trying to work on, but we'll keep talking, folks. We'll keep discussing. We'll keep growing and thriving and all that wonderful, beautiful stuff that makes human beings awesome. All right. Thank you very much. You folks take care.